And so I'm going to get to the point. Now I'm going to talk numbers. I'm going to talk about Afterburn. I'm going to talk about what I think this economic impact is. So let's talk about it. Okay. Let's talk about Afterburn right now. How is this impacting us? Right now, every single one of our members is on freeze. Okay. We're generating zero revenue. Zero. Okay. We have cut every one of our expenses to be as minimal as possible. We've furloughed our entire team again, which is a whole nother issue that I'm not going to get into right now. But here we are bringing our people back, bringing them back, furloughing. Outside of trainers that are coaching these outdoor classes, everybody else is furloughed. Our entire management team, our entire front desk staff team, everybody, myself included. You know how much I'm taking home right now? What my salary is? Zero. Okay. Yours truly is in the same boat. Okay. I'm not special. Allison, zero. And with all of that, with all of those factors taken into play, we are still, because there are still bills to be paid. There's still rent. There's still, bare bones utilities and a handful of other things that we still have to make sure that we still have an operating, functioning business for when this thing hopefully passes. Per club, we are still losing $30,000 to $40,000 a month. So combined between the two clubs, I'm losing about $70,000 a month right now. Mind you, I'm not making $70,000 a month. I'm losing. So again, generating zero revenue and still having $70,000 worth of bills to pay right now. Again, I tell you this not so that you feel bad for me. I tell you this so that I hope that it brings perspective. That you think I'm the only one that is in this situation? Restaurants, other gyms, tons, even places that are still open. They're not generating the necessary revenue that's going to be able to keep them afloat, you know what I mean, going forward. And again, the fortunate side of things is Afterburn, because we have been operating a successful company for a prolonged period of time, we have cash reserves to be able to withstand a storm like this. Now, not forever. I don't like losing $70,000 a month for 1 month. But we have the ability to withstand this at least for a little while, where most businesses don't. Most small businesses are going to be out because they don't have the cash reserves. Okay? They don't have the cash reserves to withstand this kind of thing. And so they're not going to be around. They may have 2 weeks, they may have a month, they may have 2 months, but that's it. And once it goes past that, they're gone. And so let me give you what I believe could potentially happen. Because small businesses, which make up 99% of the businesses in the country, okay? Big business makes up about 1% of the business, but big businesses make up about 1/3 of the economy's workforce. Small business makes up about 2/3 of the economy's workforce. 2/3 of people's jobs, in my opinion, are at the greatest risk, because I believe big business is at risk, but they have more cash reserves. They have the ability to withstand these kind of things. They have financing options, so on and so forth. And so you're going to see cut back. They're definitely going to lay off employees. But the small business, the ones that don't have the cash reserves, are the ones that are at greatest risk, and they're the ones that employ 2/3 of the country's workforce. And so that 2/3 is what's at risk. And I believe if this second shutdown continues for another prolonged period of time, you will see 10, 20, 30% of those small businesses go out. Now, do the math. Do the math. If 20% of small businesses go out, that's 20% of 2/3 of the workforce. So 1/5 of 2/3, which is about 16, 17% of the workforce on top of the normal unemployment rate. Okay. The highest unemployment rate of all time is about 24.9% in the Great Depression. I believe that we could definitely see about 20% of small businesses go out. And if we do, our unemployment rate will exceed the 24.9 that we saw in the Great Depression. We've never seen anything remotely close to that. since then. Not in 2008. Like nothing has even come close to it. I believe because the bottom line is we haven't seen the repercussions of this thing yet. Like we're still talking about lockdowns. I don't think people realize what is around the corner. What is around the corner is quite possibly, in my opinion, the greatest economic disaster that has ever occurred in this country. And I believe that the fallout from that will be greater than any potential health risk. That's what I believe. And again, this is not just about the business. It's about the trickle-down effect. I don't expect you to feel bad for me. You know what I want you to feel bad for? I want you to feel bad for the amazing janitorial cleaning crew who I have handle both our clubs. A small family who work their asses off, who do an amazing job. You know how hard it is for me to have to tell them every few weeks or whatever? Because that's what it's now turning into. Hey, I got to shut it down again. I can't pay you. And you don't think that they have other clients that are doing the exact same thing? That's who it affects. I'm not asking for your sympathy. I'm asking for sympathy for people like that. For the other small businesses that don't have the cash reserves that are going to go out. I'm just using this to give you some insight into how impactful this is right now. This is not a joke. This is not just about lives and not the economy. This is 100% about both. And it's about recognizing that so that we can make decisions that attempt to correct and address all of these things. I got another stat last night. 40% of retail right now are not paying rent. What do you think the long-term effect of 40% of all retail businesses not paying rent is for the commercial real estate industry? You don't think that this, at least from the commercial side, could potentially look like the 2008 housing residential housing crash of 2008 for retail? If there's no revenue and no money coming in, what do you think is going to happen? And when there's no revenue and the economy goes to crap, what do you think happens to families and relationships and their jobs and businesses and their health and their well-being and their suicide rates? And I could go on and on and on. This is about both. This is about the health and well-being of the country and the economy. Cheers.